Welcome, everybody. This is Richard Kuhns with my co-host, Robin. I'm author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, Chronic Lyme, and Other Skin Parasites. This day of November 14, 2021. We're going into the question and answer period. We may get technical, so I need to do what the FDA requires me to inform everybody that we are not here to treat, diagnose, mitigate, or cure any skin diseases. That before you accept our recommendations, you are to thoroughly discuss them with your medical doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. What we can do is to, and that's even before you start the King diet, you're to discuss that diet with him as well. Literally, no matter what the damn diet is, whether it's the paleo diet, technically you should do that as well. But anyway, that's what we must inform you to do. But what we can do and what we're here is to educate you how to utilize the King diet, how to clean your skin, how to disinfect your environment and clean your environment, and what targeted supplements can support you in building health and immune functioning. That's what we're here to do. So, Chris, who has a question?
Anna, you can go ahead, Anna.
Hi, Anna.
Yeah, I have a question about the diet. I'm trying to approach stage 2, and it feels like no matter what I try, makes me itch. I found out I can't have rye bread, I can't have bananas, and I'm just at loss how to approach stage 2. On stage 1 I'm fine, but as soon as I'm trying to approach stage 2, I'm getting itchy.
Well, have you tried a limited amount of banana or a limited amount of walnuts, say 1 or 2 walnuts instead of a handful, or a whole banana, just a couple of pieces?
And then wait 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, I found out bananas are not good, even small amounts, but walnuts are better. I can have maybe 1 walnut or 2, maybe a teaspoon of organic sour cream, but what else I can do for stage 2?
Granny Smith apples, have you tried them?
Yes, I can have Granny Smith apples.
And you can bake them and sprinkle them with stevia and cinnamon for dessert.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, this I do, but what else?
Have you tried the Parasite Stop formula?
No, I haven't tried that. I found out that if I try to do Parasite Stop, it makes me depressed.
Right, because it lowers dopamine.
Yes, it makes me very depressed, even couple of...
You have tried it? You have tried the Parasite Stop formula?
No, I have tried something else.
Try the Parasite Stop. Try the Parasite Stop formula. I don't know what you tried, so I can't comment on it. Whatever you tried is immaterial.
Okay.
Try the Parasite Stop formula. Otherwise, there's 11 medications. 3 of them are over the counter: Claritin, Claritin D, and I forget the third one. And then there are several medications by prescription that you can get working with our medical doctor. All affect the dopamine level, reduce dopamine uptake. So that would be the next step. Some people found that Extra Max 1, taking an Extra Max 1 will help. I noticed that helped me one time. I don't know. Is that your animals, Anna?
Oh, okay. I'll try to do that.
Okay. I don't know where we got the barking dog from.
Yeah, I don't know. The other thing is that if your environment is really bad...
No, my environment is good. I actually live in a new house. I just happened to bring some parasites in because our area is heavily infested with different parasites. Our subdivision was built on a place where on a swampy and foresty area, and there are lots of rats, mice.
Well, I'm just saying, I found I couldn't move to stage 2 till my environment got much better. So sometimes you think that your environment's fine, but it isn't.
I sprayed with ammonia all the time.
Ammonia didn't do anything for me. Ammonia did nothing for my environment. I had to totally up my game. So if you're still having those kind of symptoms and you're spraying ammonia, you need to look at chapter 4 in the book and try other things.
Typically, though, if she's keeping a diary and she eats walnuts and reacts within 20 minutes later, that's pretty much the diet, not necessarily the environment. So this is where it is very important to keep the diary, because if you're eating the banana and you react 20 minutes later, we know, hey, that's pretty much the food, not necessarily the environment. So the order in which to do this is, number 1, up the max 1. Number 2, look at the parasite stop formula. Number 3, look at either Claritin or Claritin D or the third antihistamine that is noted. Number 4, then look at one of the medications that reduce dopamine uptake in the brain. So take them in that order and see how you do.
I found interesting thing. It's called cortisol manager. It lowers cortisol. I decided to try it, and I found out that my cortisol probably was high, because as soon as I tried it, I felt different, kind of calm, kind of less.
Oh, email me about that. Email me about that.
Okay.
That's something we don't really want to talk about now until we have more experience with it. Okay, so email me.
Naltrexone will do that. Low dose LDN, low dose naltrexone. It brings your cortisol level into balance. If it's too high, it lowers it. If it's too low, it brings it up a little bit.
But what she found may be something that we can do without having prescriptions and getting compound pharmacies involved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I found it on Amazon just by chance.
So email me the information about it, would you, Anna?
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Okay, anyone else? Chris?
Nick, you can go.
Yeah,
Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Oh, okay. I'm doing super fantastic. I got my life back. I'm looking forward to the holidays. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm doing great. I mean, I feel good. Haven't felt like this in 20 years.
Well, that's fantastic. Healthier and happy, that's fantastic. That's exactly what we're looking for. Thank you, Nick.
I gotta thank all three of you. You did help me. I don't know what to say. I want to hear other people that are suffering so I can help them as well.
Yes, thank you. Nick is one of our coaches, and so is Anna. Okay. Anyone else like to ask a question?
Oh, my name is Donna May. I'm from Colorado.
Hi, Donna
and
May.
My brother came to live. Yeah, my brother came to live with me, so my diet, I have to be very careful, because sometimes he loves to cook and he'll put things in that I can't eat and I don't know about it. So I have broken out a little bit, and it's all my fault because I ate what I shouldn't have eaten, and I know that that's the problem. But I've had just wonderful success. I'm so grateful for the diet. I think that the diet is the number one thing to focus on, and also on antioxidants. And I think one reason that the diet's been so good for me is that I do have a lot of like dark chocolate without sugar, or with alkali, and blueberries have been very good for me. And since I can do, I'm on number 2 of the diet, and I'm easing off of some of the things that I keep trying something different. but what I found is I can't find the rice bran oil anywhere in our area. We live out in the
You can only
wide
get
open
it
space.
online.
You can get it in our store.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can order from us if you can't find it.
And I'm not an I'm not an online person, but I did find some walnut oil, and that has been good for me. So I found since I can eat the walnuts, I can also eat that. But I do have a question.
Yes.
You said you could eat olives, and I'm wondering why you can eat olives and not olive oil. That's a question that I have.
For me, olives is not on the diet. Robin has not had a problem with them, right, Robin?
Right. I can eat olives but not olive oil, and I don't know why. I just know that's how it is.
So the diet, you know, I have to congratulate you because you are at the point of cause and effect. Cause and effect. You don't have to believe that anything about the diet. You just simply know that if you eat something and you have an effect later on, it's because of what you ate. And that is really a good place to be. That's where life starts making sense. That's where you're on the path, and that's good news. And that's the first place we want everybody here on the program to be. Make the diet work. And when you make the diet work, when you goof off, whether you goofed off or accidental or your brother put something in the food that you didn't know about, you know it's cause and effect. There's no guessing. You know this diet is the Holy Grail. This diet is the Holy Grail to getting your life back.
It is. It definitely is. And I after 20 years, it's the only thing that has worked for me. Although I do have some other success with some other things that are not on a diet, which we won't discuss. But it's the diet is number one, and I really encourage anyone who has parasites to please stick to the diet and know that it's going to work for them. If it worked for me after 20 years, it's going to work for you.
Thank you.
Wherever you are.
We each are different. Yes, you found things that you can eat that are not on the diet, so that's great. But you know it's diet, and that's the important thing. I mean, this diet is the one that I figured out for me, and it's not necessarily the diet it's going to work for 100%. There are many people who can't have spelt or rice, for instance, and you may be able to have some other things. So it's diet. And this is the main structure is stage 1 and stage 2 are the main structures, and that's where that's always where you want to come back to. Thank you for sharing. Okay, anyone else, Chris?
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, my name is Jill. I'm from California.
Hi, Jill.
This is a head scratcher for me, no pun intended. I don't itch at all. I don't know what I have. I know you're not there to have to give me a diagnosis. I know I have parasites because they're coming out of my skin, but I don't itch at all. And so,
well, do you find black specks around your bedding and clothing or other colored specks?
No.
And you don't find any filaments or fibers, cotton-like or lint-like substance in your bedding and clothing without any explanation?
That, honestly, is a question mark for me. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, we have hardwood floors, and so there's a lot of lint anyway. You vacuum, and then there's lint. So the thing is, I don't know what I have, and, 2 primary doctors didn't take me seriously. I did have initially, when I realized I had something coming out of my skin.
What do you have coming out of your skin?
It looks like a worm, and it's since it moved to my face. It looks like
you may not have the columbella or the Morgellons or the typical mites that we talk about, but we all have internal parasites. They're usually in the gut area, but not necessarily limited to the gut. So we use a basic approach of consuming diatomaceous earth we consume the mouthwash. It's like taking activated charcoal in a sense, and we go after organisms with fenbenzidol, which is the medical equivalent of albendazole. And probably
fenbenzidol. Okay.
This week. Yes.
Go ahead. I am losing my hair, and on my head, and my eyelashes, more on my head, and there's little nodules on my hair shaft. So I do have some medicated, a prescription for an antifungal shampoo, but I have been doing the diet, and I've been doing the diet for 3 days, and thankfully I know how to cook.
Thankfully you don't have what?
I'm enjoying it. I've lost weight. I know sugar's a drug, and so in dropping sugar, I do feel better in that respect. I am taking something I don't want to hiccup, and I don't want to feed my internal parasites. I don't know what I'm going to do about my skin as far as healing, except I did get some of your soap. But I am taking something generic for Lexapro. It's called Esclit. It's hard to pronounce. It's $1 million word, and it's 10 milligrams. I mean, it's the lowest dose. And I've been taking that for about 6 months now, and that basically doesn't make me sweat the small stuff. It's really been effective. Is that something I can continue taking?
Oh, I can't give you any medical advice. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I'm not really familiar with it.
In the book, it lists 12 drugs that actually can help you that will also help with parasites.
We don't know if she's dealing with Morgellons or Columbella because she doesn't have any itching. She has no biting. She just has these organisms coming through her skin. With your scalp, you're losing hair, but you don't have any itching or biting or discomfort there?
No, I'm very little issues.
And you think you may have fungal issues?
Correct.
Well, we do have a fungal package in the store. We have a couple of ways of dealing with fungal issues. One is that first of all fungal organisms are comprised of chitin. And in our protocol, the medication that is recommended is lufenuron. We have a supplier in Mexico. Actually, they ship it to you from Texas. But lufenuron, taken for 96 days, will basically it does two things. One, it inhibits the production of chitin, which is like the building block of say for instance, a brick wall, the mortar. If you take away the mortar, the brick wall is going to fall. So you take away the chitin, you inhibit the chitin from being produced, and it doesn't destroy the existing organisms that are in your body. It inhibits them from being produced in the future. All right. Then step 2 is we have a supplement in the store. It's a kinase formula, a kinase enzymes. And the enzymes are designed to break down the existing chitin. And then it also breaks down biofilm. So it's a 2-for-1 kind of deal. Biofilm is also involved. And we also have another supplement in the store called calcium Dayclex. And its purpose is to inhibit the production of hyphae. Now, hyphae are like a root structure. So regular plants have roots that absorb nutrients and grow into the soil and absorb nutrients. Fungal organisms have hyphae, which is a kind of a root that grows into whatever the nutrient source is, whether it's your skin or sheetrock on a wall or whatever. And it extracts the nutrients. So that's our basic approach. The kinase enzymes goes after the existing fungal, and then the Dayclex and the lufenuron inhibit further production. On the skin.
can you kindly spell these for me? So when the lufenuron, that's on your website to purchase?
Well, if you complete the questionnaire, you'll get a complete analysis with links to everything. Lufenuron is Lufenuron, Lufenuron, and kinase, Chitinase, but our enzyme is spelled a little bit differently. So they're all in the store, and if you complete the questionnaire, you get links to everything and where they're located. Now, fungal issues on the skin. This is where we love apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
And you can apply it diluted or full strength. Taking the bath with a nature's gift and using apple cider vinegar is fantastic. It's the best thing, one of the best things that you can do. There are some over-the-counter creams. I mean, there's like cream for jock itch, that kind of thing. Just because it says jock itch or athlete's feet don't mean it's not going to help you on your forehead or on your head either. They're antifungal as well.
I did fill out the questionnaire. I did fill it out, but I didn't receive links to the 3 things that you're recommending on your, at
did you say, did you receive the recommendations? Did you receive an email with recommendations?
No.
Well, then apparently I didn't get it. Or somehow it was hidden in an email. So send it to me again. Make sure it's either in the body of an email or a Word file, but not a PDF or something else. Or don't send me Google Docs or something like that. Just a regular attachment in a Word file, or copy it and put it in an email that I can simply copy it and paste it into a Word.
So I'm going to let someone else have a turn, but I just want to say quickly, the 3 things from your website that I need in my specific case that you would recommend would be the lufenuron,
right?
The
enzyme,
enzyme, and the
calcium Dayplex. Mm-hmm.
But Richard, you don't have lufenuron on the website, right?
No, but when you get the link in the recommendations, when I send you the recommendations, it gives you to the link where you can get it. You order it from Mexico. They mail it to you from Texas.
Can I Google it?
No. The source that we've been using for about 10 years. They're very reputable.
Okay.
This one really works.
Okay. Okay.
So just send me the questionnaire again, and I'll get it right back to you.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The questionnaire, the recommendations are very detailed, and if you're not dealing with something, well, the questionnaire is, the analysis is very detailed, and by the answers to your questions, I strike out a lot of things that are not pertinent. So if something's not pertinent, I strike it out. And so you might see, instead of 12 supplements recommended, you might only see 1 through 6 recommended, perhaps. I don't know. So, okay, thank you. Who's next?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Keep coming back.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, Faye from California.
Hi, Faye. Our second person from California.
Yes. So if you're getting a lot of little parasites, is that a infestation?
Where are you seeing them? Where are you getting them?
All over.
Your body?
In the hair. Yes, all over the body and in the hair.
Have you started a diet?
Yes.
How long have you been on the diet? Has it kicked in?
About 3 days.
Okay. So has it kicked in?
Not sure.
Okay. Well, let me explain to you. Let me explain to you the 3 things that are imperative to do simultaneously. It's like driving a car with 3 clutches, actually 4 clutches. But number 1 is focus on making the diet work. Keep a diary. Now, we talked earlier about when Anna came on in the very beginning, we talked about the steps to do if you're having trouble making the diet work. Boost the glutathione booster, the parasite stop formula, and so on. So you do those things. So simultaneously, because when the diet kicks in, you go from scratching and itching throughout the night to one of your first night of natural sleep. You might wake up once instead of numerous times. That's how powerful this diet is. The second thing is to make sure you're not being reinfected from your environment. So you make a war on your environment. They're all over the place. Chapter 3 is all about 50 pages. Of course, chapter 3 is also about bathing, because that's the other thing. You want to get them out of your skin, but you need to get them out of your furniture, out of your flooring. There are mites. You know, when I analyze the questionnaire, I'd say that close to 100% of the people who respond are dealing with some kind of mite as a carrier. Could be mites, or it could be carpet beetles, could be bed bugs, but there's some kind of other organism that is a carrier. We call it vector, that brings them to you. So you want to figure out, if you can, what that vector is and go after it. Now, when it comes to mites, there are basically 2 kinds. Say, for instance, bird mites. You hear the word bird and think the mite flies, but the bird mite doesn't fly. It crawls. It seeks your warmth. It crawls to you. But there are flying mites, and you can see them often in the air. So if you're dealing with a flying mite, then you're dealing with the walls, the ceiling, the floor, and everything being infected and needs to be disinfected. This, probably the best way to do with that one is the electrostatic sprayer, and just spray everywhere. And, years ago, I saw a YouTube video where these guys were taking a mop and they were wiping their walls down with a long-handled mop and in the ceiling. That's what they were dealing with. You don't have to go to that extreme with the electrostatic sprayer, because it puts on a positive charge and goes on every crevice, every place, and will knock them out. So if they're not in the air and flying, well, then they're generally easier to deal with. They're in the furniture, they're in the bedding, they're in the clothing. So you need to launder your clothing and do whatever you need to do to get them out. Some of them are more resistant than others. For many people, such as myself, ammonia is the only thing I ever really needed to use. Some people, such as Robin, she's had to go to more extremes with a triple pesticide. When we're dealing with laundry, for instance, what I think pretty well a fail-safe method is get a tote, and this is what she did. She got a tote, a large tote that might be maybe 6 gallons, I don't know. A tote about 18 inches wide, about maybe 3 feet long, and about 2 feet high. And in the bottom, you put ammonia. Put about an inch of ammonia. You can get egg carton crates, empty egg cartons, and put them in the bottom, because you don't need the clothing to actually be in the liquid. You want the fumes. So you can get the egg crate cartons, the plastic ones, and put it in the bottom, so you can put the clothing on top, and your clothing isn't going to necessarily get wet. It's not a problem if it does, but you can get in the springtime when you buy plants, they have these they have these trays. You could get those trays, and they're plastic. You can put them in, and that will keep your clothing from getting wet. So you let your clothing in the tote for a couple hours, maybe overnight. Then you put them in the washing machine. You add in borax, you add in ammonia, you add in whatever you want. There's chapter 3's got a whole bunch of things you can use, Epsom salts, and whatever you want in there. And then you wash them. You put them in the dryer. You put ammonia on a sheet, maybe a third of a cup on a sheet or a towel. You can add in peppermint oil. You can add in clove oil. If you're dealing with mites, mites hate clove oil, so you can put some clove oil in there. So you run your dryer. If you need to, when you take that out of wear gloves if you need to, so you don't contaminate the clothing from your hands perhaps, and put them in zipper lock bags. So this is like the ultimate in dealing with your laundry. With your bedding, you cover the mattress with a plastic liner, and so that you don't want a cloth liner because these organisms can go through cloth. So you want the plastic liner zipper tight, and then you want to treat each layer of your bedding and make sure it's disinfected. For me, I used to just spray the mattress, and then I'd put on the mattress cover, and I'd spray the mattress cover, and then I'd put on a sheet, and I'd spray this sheet, and I'd put on the next sheet, and I'd spray that sheet, and I'd put on the cover, and that would be it. So you need to figure out how extensive you need to be in the disinfection process. With the couches and things, many people throw them out. Furniture gone. Well, that's a tremendous waste of money in my estimation, because with our disinfectants and our techniques, and whether you need to use ozone, we have ozone generator. You run it on a specified timers, half hour on, an hour off, half hour on, hour off, half hour on, and then off. Air the place out, and then occupy it. You do that for 21 days straight, because if you're dealing with mites, the eggs might not hatch for 21 days, depending on what species you're dealing with. So disinfection to make sure you're not getting reinfected from the environment. Bathing, again, you can use our products. They're a lot faster. They're a lot more effective. They get deeper. Or you can use a hot, near scalding bath like I did way back in the 90s and do that 3 times a day. So you put the 3 together at the same time. Keep a diary to make sure that what you eat is okay. And because after you eat something, if it's a problem, you're going to generally react within 20 to 30 minutes. Once you get this diet working, you're in a different world. You're saying, wow, I got my life back. You'll feel cured. I mean, people say, yeah, I'm cured. No, there's no cure. We make no claims of there being a cure, because you go off that diet and within days, it's all hell breaks loose. So, and there's a delayed response, because after you're on the diet for a period of time and you're moving along and you're doing real well and you're trying a new food, and maybe you try potato chips. Well, you'll have those potato chips, but you might not react to them for 2 or 3 days instead of 20 minutes. So that means you're doing better. But then it's more of a challenge to look back 2 days and to see what you ate 2 days ago. You have anything to add to that, Robin?
No, I think you were very thorough. Totally covered it.
Yeah, it's like I wrote the book again.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So yeah, I talked to Robin, and I'm following her information, instructions. I just got the package like a couple of days ago, and I'm doing the NG debriding soap in the bath. I think after that, I think it's the environment. Oh, the MSM neem oil. The neem oil is what I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
And I slept for 2 days. And slept good for 2 days. So I think that works, but I do think it's my environment.
Mm-hmm.
So go after the environment with a vengeance. You know, I share this oftentimes. I have recliner couch behind me, and for 3 months I could not sit in that recliner couch for more than 10 minutes, and they'd be attacking them around my ankles and legs. I did everything I could. I sprayed every day. I sprayed the top of the footrest. I sprayed the bottom of the footrest for 3 months. Nothing. And then one day I realized that the footrest has ends. You know, it's not very big. It's only an inch wide, and so, you know, where the fabric is tufted into that, and that's where they were. That's where they were. So all the spraying I did and all the work I did for 3 months was for naught. The electrostatic sprayer, though, would have eliminated that in 1 day. All I had to do was point in that area, and it would have. The electrostatic sprayer has its own brain. It knows where to send the stuff. It would have got. It would have.
I have the ozone generator. So
the ozone generators are great. They're, you know, it's 21 days straight, and if you mess up, it's another 21 days. If you take a break or don't do it right, it's another 21 days. I mean, Robin uses still ozone. She uses electrostatic. She goes after them with everything she's got.
Okay.
And okay, you know, I didn't find it wasn't 21 days. It was 4 months.
4 months. Well, that's because you messed up.
No, it's because the infestation was so bad.
Right, you didn't get them all.
And I had multiple things.
Yeah, you have to get them all. If you don't get them all in 21 days, it's just going to cycle over and over and over until you get them all. You got to get them all.
Right.
You can't let one of them live.
Right.
How long does it take if you use the electrostatic?
Well, let's say it's going to take the same amount of time, but it's going to, I mean, in terms of months or days, but to do a house, like to do a room 12 by 12, a bedroom, will take you about maybe 15 seconds.
Okay.
Versus,
okay, one of the...
You have to do it over and over and over. It's not a one. Nothing happens once.
Yeah, you got to do it every day, but it's for 15 seconds in a room. So you can do a whole house in about maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
I found I could do a 1,500 square foot house in 15 minutes.
You're going to get the walls, the ceiling, everything. You're not going to miss a thing with the electrostatic sprayer.
What about with the ozone? Okay, but what about with the ozone?
Well, the ozone, you're going to set it up, and you have to leave the house. So you're going to have to vacate the area. You got to put it on a timer, and then every day you have to do it. So you're going to have to do it almost in every room. So you're going to maybe need, I don't know how big your house is, but you might need 3, 4 ozone machines running in the house. You also, if you have a heating system, duct system, you're going to need to have the ducts cleaned and run the ozone through the ducts or run the electrostatic sprayer so it sprays through the duct work as well. You got to get everything. Everything. Chapter 3 explains it all.
Okay. What about what's the best thing to use for the hair?
For the hair, well, we went through the protocol last week. I just sent out the video. It's been posted, and it's quite in-depth. So listen to last week's. It was just put up on YouTube yesterday. And the email went out. Every email that goes out announcing this program has a list of all the past ones. So I'm just referencing you to that one because it was just done and released yesterday. Okay.
One more thing. Are these man-made mosquitoes, the ones for the West Nile, are these the same type of thing, Morgellons?
Well, there's a lot of theories as to where Morgellons come from. There are people who theorize it's released with the ticks from Plum Island and Lyme disease. There are people who theorize it's a patented mechanism. There are people who theorize it comes from chemtrails. you know, there are a lot of theories. They're discussed in the book. This really isn't a forum necessarily for that. We're here to get your life back, not to figure out where in the hell they came from.
Right. Okay.
I'm just trying to see, because these things that are in my house are everywhere when you go out, and I don't know if there's other carriers or what. That's why I was asking that question.
Well, they're outside too. They can be outside in your patio, and so this is one of the most effective things that you can do. And Robin has introduced this, is to go to Lowe's and buy Garden Safe Fungicide 3. It comes in like a 32-ounce bottle. You hook it up to your hose, and you spray it. So you spray everywhere outside that you feel is infected. You can spray the trees up as high as your hose is going to shoot. So yeah, you go after it, outside, inside, everywhere. And the Fungicide 3, instead of doing it every day, you may do it every few days for a while.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, a lot of people get these things from bird nests right outside their bedroom window, believe it or not, and they come through the screen.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a bird nest out there.
Yep.
In the back. Mhm.
Yeah, mine came from I pulled a vine out of a pine tree, and apparently it pulled the vine, it dislodged a nest. And
how come some people get them and some other people don't get the parasite?
We don't know. That research hasn't been done. I mean, the Morgellons Foundation is so far behind, they're even saying that's not contagious. And that, but, you know, we had a fellow on who said that they may be infectious. I don't know what the hell the difference is if you end up with the organisms. But the foundation says they're not contagious, and that you can't give them to anybody else. You can't pick them up from anybody else, which is a bunch of horseshit. Because I mean, for me to believe that, then I have to call 1,000 of you guys liars, because I have at least that many people have written me and told me they've given them to someone, they've picked them up from somebody, they were at a meeting, they sat across from somebody who had spit coming out of their mouth when they walked away with them themselves, and that's what precipitated them. They pick them up on airplanes after somebody got up that was infected by it. They go to Universal Studios and sit on a toilet seat and get up infected because the person before was infected. You know, so I've got tons of these stories, and people telling me that's not contagious. Bullshit.
Yeah. So yeah, I bought this house, and I think I got infected from this house.
Yeah. Back in around 2008, they were saying that China was sending them to us in their cotton. You know, I haven't heard that much, but that was kind of a theory back then. But I don't think that was true. It's an organism, and I think we created a perfect storm when we bring in glyphosate, when we bring in GMOs, when we bring in that affect our gut and affect our immune functioning, that is not there to fight these organisms off, and when we bring in chemtrails, and when we bring in 5G that interferes with our immune functioning. We got the perfect storm that allows these organisms to thrive in some of us. Why some and not everybody? Maybe it comes down to pheromones, or how you pronounce it. Who knows?
Blood type.
But we don't, or blood type. But no, I don't think blood type. That hasn't shown up. Randy Wymore supposedly ran through that kind of stuff years ago. So, okay, thank you. Keep coming back. We're here to support you in getting your life back.
Okay. Thank you.
It's not easy, but the rewards is worth it. And you know the other thing, while Chris is looking for the next number, the other thing is that of the many, many people who have gotten their lives back, not one has said they were less healthy than they were before they started this trick. Not one. In fact, everybody who gets their lives back says they are healthier now than they were before. Because, I mean, let's face it, many people, because of their diet, sugar, They're walking in their own tomb anyway, even before the parasites come along. You're taking your walk to your tomb because of the sugar, the candida, and all that kind of stuff affecting your heart and the rest of the organs of your body. And you're in this Tylenol crap, and you acetaminophen that destroys your liver. Hey, with that kind of life, you're walking to your own grave. And when you get on this diet, and you get off of that crap and you build your glutathione and you're going to come out healthier. You may even start exercising. People who have weight, a lot of excess weight, definitely. Mostly contributed by sweets, candida, albicans. This diet drops it. Of course, people who don't have a lot of weight to lose, okay, so we want to get you off of stage 1 quickly. And you can get off of stage 1 if you toe the rope, and you can get off of stage 1 and stage 2 within about 7 to 10 days. So you don't have to be on stage 1 forever. And after a period of time, you get to where I am. I eat anything I want, anytime I want. And just to put in a plug, I don't know how many people that you know who have had Morgellons, Columbella, springtails, skin fungus, Strongyloides cervicalis, and chronic Lyme disease, and live to tell about it.
Yeah, first time hearing about any of that.
Well, here I am.
Thank God.
Great. Do you have anything to add, Robin, while we're waiting for anybody who might text in to wrap up our question and answer? Anything I might have missed?
No, I just think like when someone says, why do some people get it and others don't, it's true we don't know why, but I know that the people who tend to get it are the kind of people who, like if I go for a walk outside with a friend and there's mosquitoes, I'll get mosquito bites and they won't. So there's something about me that attracts them.
Yeah, it could be the pheromones. Yeah, there is definitely something. It hasn't been figured out. Nobody is actually, they don't even get into that research. There's no funding. Right. And the little research that's done are generally pilot studies. They find in their pilot studies that 90% of those who are affected by Morgellons. Now, to be affected by Morgellons, this is the only requirement. Filaments coming from your skin that are not supposed to be there, generally from lesions that are unexplained as to why they're there. Filaments. The filaments can be
almost microscopic.
I mean, they can be long. I mean, some people say they move, and come back into their skin. I don't know. I've never seen that, but I'm not going to call anybody a liar, okay? They can be various colors. They can be short. They can be thin. They can be almost microscopic. When they are, sometimes you need like a 30-power scope to see them, which most people generally have. But the telltale signs often is lint-like, cotton-like substance in your bedding and clothing without any reasonable explanation. So that's an indication that these filaments, as tiny, they do shed. They don't just stay like your regular hair does. They shed from your skin. And that's what makes them potentially contagious. Because if you go to the beauty parlor or the barber shop or sit in an airplane, they can shed from your skin. And those who come in contact with them can be potentially infected by them. From what I hear, the people that have written me, okay? Now, the researchers find that these filaments, most of the time, like 90%, are affected with spirochetes, Lyme disease, one of two types of spirochetes generally. And these spirochetes are found in and on the filaments as well. It's what they found. The filaments are comprised of collagen and keratin. Last week we talked about the value of organic sulfur, MSM. Organic sulfur is an element that is in the compound of collagen, in the molecular structure of collagen. So what happens is that Morgellons sucks up the collagen that you have and has you depleted. I mean, it sucks up the sulfur, and you're depleted in sulfur, which is why we talked last week about the importance of supplementing what you do with MSM. Now, MSM capsules you take internally. We have super MSM gel or regular MSM gel that it's the same thing. Instead of being in a capsule, it's in a gel and you apply to your skin. Guess where it goes? Right into your skin. Supplements your skin. So it's important. We talked about all the different kinds of problems that deficiency in sulfur cause last week. So go to last week's topic about MSM. It's important. Okay, anyone else with a question, Chris?
Tony, you could go ahead, Tony.
Tony?
Oh. Hi, Richard. Hi, Robin. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Tony.
I am continuing with my quest. I'm trying to get rid of it. I actually am getting worse, I think. One thing I'm using the ozone generator along with the electrostatic sprayer, and I thought I was really lucky in that I didn't feel like my clothes in my closet were infested. I always kept the doors closed, but I thought, oh, I got the ozone generator, open it up, and maybe like 3 or 4 days later, I put on a sweatshirt and the high neck around it. Now was bothering my skin. Now my chest and my neck are itching and biting sensation all over again. So
you contaminated yourself.
Yeah, and then now they got the flavor back into my skin.
Yeah, did you listen to what I was saying a couple of calls back when we were talking about disinfection, about the protocol with doing your laundry?
Oh, yeah.
That's what you need to do.
Laundry over and over.
You need to take everything out of your closet. Everything out of your closet. Either send it to the laundromat to be dry cleaned, or put it through the tote, put it through the washing machine, put it through the dryer, and then put it into Ziploc bags. And then before you put it back in your closet, ozone the closet, electrostatic spray the closet, get it out of the closet. Now, you need to do this with your drawers as well. All your dresser drawers, empty them. You may want to wear gloves so you don't get contaminated. But, if you're dealing with springtails, they can jump about 8 to 10 inches. So you need to do everything. It's like starting all over again.
It is. And doing the bathing and, 2 a day is taking up a lot of time. And then disinfecting
Anytime you make a little mistake like you did, it's so disheartening. All that progress down the tube in 20 minutes, less than 20 minutes. You put on that T-shirt and you feel a little itching, and if you don't get that T-shirt off right away and treat that area with Nature's Gift or Super MSM gel or something, you're back into hell again. It's that fast.
Yeah. Well, welcome. Do you think I can take lufenuron may help?
What's that?
My diet's been really strict, and just rice bran noodles or rice bran cakes, or occasionally spelt matzos.
Rice bran cakes?
And the brown rice, puffed brown rice.
But some of those have more ingredients than just brown rice, and some people can't take brown rice on stage 1 even.
Oh, that doesn't leave me very many other things left.
Well, if it had been working for you, it sounds like your environment got you.
Yeah, I think so. But I know you were talking about lufenuron, and I keep on thinking. At first the diet really seemed like it worked. I was getting less and less problems with it, and I just thought it was the environment. So I've been really concentrating on that. But now with how itchy my chest is, and the bathing helps, but only for a couple hours.
Well, the other thing, the other thing about the ozone generator is sometimes it can push the mites or whatever they are. Like if your clothes were all unprotected in your closet, and you ozoned your bedroom, it could have pushed them all into the closet, into your clothes.
I think that's what I'm thinking. I agree with you.
Yeah. You have to, you have to do all of it. You can't just leave one part unprotected and unsafe.
Yeah, I just thought the ozone would just kill them, and I could just aim it at the closet, but now I got to take her. So I heard your advice for putting them in bags, a long time ago. So I've started to order them and wash everything, and hopefully.
It's called biting the bullet.
Yeah, and it's not just washing things. You got to follow the protocols for laundry. Just plain washing won't do it.
I have an enzyme cleaner. It's similar to what's on Richard's website for laundry use, and it's for getting rid of dust mites and bed bugs. And I have been using that. And again, I thought my clothes were really good. I don't, it's usually when I'm in an environment but when I put that sweatshirt on, it was like hours later, my chest and my neck and my ears.
And your clothes might come out of the laundry fine, but if you just put them back in the room to get reinfested, then
and then they're going in the bags.
Yep.
So thank you for those ideas. But do you think lufenuron would help with the diet more, or?
Well, lufenuron inhibits the production of chitin, and if the organisms are in your skin, it's going to inhibit them from reproducing in your skin. It's not going to stop them from living in the closet. It's not going to stop them from reinfecting you.
Okay. But if they're, because I used to be able to just jump into bed and sleep all night, and now I feel like they're finding me even there, or they're already on me, and I gotta try to. Well, the bathing's good for a short while, but maybe I'm not getting them all out. And I know the bathing helps get rid of whatever like we were talking about earlier, the pheromones, but I'm desperate.
It sounds like
everybody else.
This keeper has been the culprit here.
And sorry, what's the call?
Your clothing in the closet. So
now it is.
Yeah.
It's just another step, but all right, and I will keep on cleaning. I guess that's my question. So you don't think lufenuron in my case would help unless I have like the open source?
It's not going to help anything in the environment. But if they are living in your skin, if you had dealing with mites living in your skin, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I'll complete the order. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, if you're dealing with fungal issues in your body, well, lufenuron, right on. Candida or anything like that, right on.
Okay, because they attract the mites and other things. Okay.
It was from your maybe if you were before you started this diet, if you were eating sweets and into milk chocolates and candies and a lot of breads and pastries, then you're a candidate for candida. And then you probably would want to do the lufenuron.
No, my diet's been really clean for years in terms of sweets and carbohydrates.
Then it's probably not important.
But I eat a lot of
On
fruit.
the website for lufenuron, they have a protocol just for Morgellons with lufenuron.
Yeah, I've been reading that.
So, I mean,
Okay,
it is helpful.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
And they have that because many people with Morgellons, a large percentage of them, are dealing with Candida or some kind of fungal issues internally. Candida is not the only fungal issue. I mean, there are many fungal issues can be breathed in. You can breathe them in from the atmosphere or from a moldy environment or anything like that. They can, manifest themselves and ruin your health. So that's where lufenuron comes in, because lufenuron is there as a let's say a precursor. Let's just make sure that this isn't a problem. Instead of let's dealing with only Morgellons, and then a year from now finding out we're not getting any better because we missed the fungal issue. Let's get the fungal issue out of the way. All right, just get it out of the way.
Yeah, my work environment was kind of smelled moldy, so maybe I did start it from that.
Yeah, and we look at that with internal parasites too. So we don't say, okay, let's ignore them. Let's just deal with Morgellons, and then a year later find out we're not getting anywhere because the internal parasites have been an issue. So let's just get these variables out of the way. They're variables. Let's get them out of the way. Same is true with 5G. It's a variable. So if we can stay away from 5G equipment and EMF, it's a variable. Last week I put out an update about the dirty electricity in your house. So that all these things are variables that can mess up dealing with Morgellons, make it more difficult.
Yeah, they all add up. I understand now. Because I kept on thinking it would be like a simple solution, and there's not one.
Yeah. So, if it were only Morgellons, it is said that the antidote is simply boron, borax, boron, okay? If it were only Morgellons, but it is rarely only Morgellons. And the other part of that is to alkalize your body with apple cider vinegar, taking apple cider vinegar. That is said to boron and taking apple cider vinegar. Only problem is 90% of us are also dealing with springtails, and apple cider vinegar happens to be one of their preferred food sources. So we alkalize either by consuming the baking soda, which is part of the protocol, or using the ionic minerals that we have in the store, which also alkalizes. So when you put the ionic mineral sachet in your water, your distilled water, the pH goes to about 10.5. Goes way up there. So we alkalize with either or both the baking soda, consuming it, or the ionic minerals and the boron, and that's it. That's what is said. I'm not claiming it. I'm not saying, but that is said to be the answer to Morgellons. But it's never Morgellons this close. It's always complicated with internal parasites or fungal issues, Candida or other kinds of fungal issues, or skin fungus and things like that, complicated by 5G affecting your immune functioning. Remember, part of what we want to do is build immune functioning, and the purpose of the targeted supplements that I have is to build immune functioning. And so we want to make the environment as healthy as we can be so that these supplements are as effective as they can be. In fact, for years, I've always said, do not waste your money buying any supplements from me or anybody else until the diet is kicked in. Because until the diet is kicked in and you got things on a roll, boosting the glutathione may not be of any value or much at all, but having the minerals and the vitamins, I mean, they're always good to have, but they're not going to really give you that shot that you need. They're not going to really go to work until you get things going and that diet kicks in, and then, wow, put all these supplements together, you build your health and immune functioning, and you're going out the door. once you get your, the closet straightened out and the clothing and all that, and get that all down, get that all pat down, then you're on a roll. You're on a roll.